How the Junior Police Academy got started was about 3 years ago. Myself and Officer Bowen sat down with the chief and told him interested in starting a camp. We thought it'd be nice to have a camp run by the police officers. I heard of other police departments in other towns running camps, but not particularly a Junior Police Academy. We have a Citizens Police Academy, and I thought it'd be nice to do something for the kids, especially in the summertime when they have a lot of downtime. So it happened about 3 years ago. The chief said he thought it was a great idea, and we're lucky enough that he supported it and helped us put it together. The way we choose kids for the Junior Police Academy is through a lottery process. We take the names of 3 boys and 3 girls chosen from each school in town. And the way it works is back in April, we come to the schools, I give a little talk, I let them know about the Junior Police Academy, what it's all about. They fill out applications, and then we come in, we put them all in a box, and we pick 3 boys and 3 girls from each school. And I think it's the fairest way to do it. Gives everybody an even shot. The first day at camp is, well, for the kids in the morning, we try to make it real rigid for them. We want to come in and let them think, hey, we're in a Junior Police Academy. And the first thing they're doing, they're walking away their lunches and they're singing and they're happy, and all of a sudden they've got these police officers in the auditorium yelling, come on, get in line, first patrol, come on, let's go. People are yelling and screaming, and kind of like a boot camp, because that's the way we want to make it. We want the kids to step right up to the plate, learn the rules of the camp, and it's really tongue-in-cheek type stuff, but we try to be as serious as we can there. We're keeping straight faces, but the whole idea is for the kids to learn the rules of the camp. And they'll walk in the auditorium, we have them get into their patrols, and they learn about the rules of the camp. They also learn the camp song. And just about after that, we do our Pledge of Allegiance. We have a guy that we bring back every year, Sergeant Jack Hammer, who's really Officer Scott Harrington in our police department. Scott was also in the Marine Corps. And we tell the kids that he comes out of Parris Island. He's a drill instructor, and he's here to whip these kids into shape. And we kind of make fun on that all week long, and making the kids do push-ups and fun stuff. But if we catch anybody eating donuts, because as you know, donuts are a police officer's nightmare, worst nightmare. So he kind of keeps that all going. He keeps us in shape, and the kids love it. They love that whole idea of Sergeant Jack Hammer there, and seeing the police officers do the push-ups too. Sometimes when they get caught eating a donut. So it works out really well to have that all starting. But from that point, we get right into our program, and it usually starts around 9:30. Everybody has an activity. We have 10 patrols, and they'll go to different sites. So we might have the obstacle course going on out here in the field. We'll have a soccer game going on, or volleyball. We'll have the archery program going on. So Patrol 1 might have archery in the morning, and after the second program, might have the obstacle course. We have that mock crime scene. We have a bank robbery. We actually stage a bank robbery. The guys dressed up in masks, guns with real shots in them. We use blank shots naturally, but they fire a couple of rounds coming out of the back door of one of the schools. We make it look like a bank. The kids witness it, they see it, they take down their information, what they saw, what did the getaway car look like, what did the person look like. And then from there, they just keep going around to the different sites. And that's the first day. It's a big day just to get to know all the kids. And then in the afternoon, this year was great because we had the state police helicopter fly in, which was excellent. The kids had a chance to see that thing drop down right in front of them within 100 feet. They got to go through the helicopter. State police air wing, the officers came out, troopers came out and told us all about the program and what they're all about, which was super. We had a mock crash in the afternoon where the kids actually thought there was a crash over at the high school. We went over there. Pleasant Street campus. We marched them over. They thought they were going for marching drills. When all of a sudden a woman came running up to them and told them there was an accident, they were able to see the whole accident unfold in terms of how the fire department, the police department, the ambulance all working conjunction with each other to try to respond to this accident, help the victims, and the kids get to see this all unfold. The roof is taken off by the jaws of life, and the victims are all taken care of right on the scene with the backboards, and just like there was a real accident. We want the kids to see that. So afterwards we go through it and they ask questions about, well, why did they put the backboard on? Why did that person have to have that bottle with the water in it? What is that? All those type of questions are asked, and they get to go through the fire department equipment and ask about the jaws. And after the end of the day, the fire department was gracious enough to turn on that big hose, the fire tower, and sprayed all the kids, and I really think they like that. So it's a great day. The great thing about camp is the kids aren't stuck here for a whole week just in the school area. We try to keep them out on field trips, and one of the great field trips that we go on is Six Flags. But just before that, we take a trip on Tuesday to the Norfolk County Prison, Norfolk County Jail, Dedham House of Correction, and they do a great program out there. We take the kids through the facility. They get to actually talk to inmates about why they were in there and what happened and what inmate life is like at the prison. They get a complete tour, and I think that's important because being a junior police academy, not all kids have the opportunity to go through a prison, especially 4th graders going into 5th grade. So this is a great program for us, for the kids to hear the different stories and think about, you know, why do these guys get in there? What did they do wrong? And that's why we're glad that we have this program involved in this. But also, as an upbeat program, we have the Six Flags, and kids really look forward to that place. I mean, what can I say about Six Flags? It's like Disney World that's close by. The officers and the kids are on roller coaster rides and you name it. I mean, I've seen the officers go on every single ride the kids do. They look a little sick when they come off. I know some of the rides I wouldn't have gone on, but the kids love it. They're on the boat rides and the different activities they have at the park. But we spend a whole day there. We leave at like 7:30 in the morning, and we don't usually get home till around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. It's a long day. We stop at Burger King at the end of the day, which is great, especially when I see the person behind the counter. When they tell them we need 140 cheeseburgers, 40 chicken McNuggets, and 120 drinks, they almost fall over. But they seem to pull it off, and I'm very glad for Burger King. They've been great to us. During the week, like I said, I think that the officers actually are having more fun sometimes than the kids. There's a lot of things that are going, a lot of practical jokes that the officers do that think it's funny. I get hit with 3 pies this year, which was very nice of them. I appreciated all the kids. Thank you, kids, for baking those pies. They're very nice, and the crust was so tender. But you know, some of the things that go on during the week, we had a duck-tective. That's that yellow duck you usually see everybody's carrying around, and duck-tective was part of our Mission Impossible. It was a skit that we did with the kids. What we do is we'd come up with 10 questions about the police department, different things they're learning during the camp, and the bonus question would be, find duck-tective. We would take this duck and we'd hide him, and we'd give clues, and the kids would have to seek them out, and they love that program. They also love some of the other skits we do, the donut skits, you know? Hey, that cops and donuts thing, it always sticks with us. So we just want to show kids that we can have fun with it too. So we do some skits with the officers and the kids about the donuts, and the kids sneak donuts into the camp, and they try to, you know, if we touch a donut, we have to do push-ups. So the kids are always trying to get it back. Oh, so Barry, your lunch is in there, I'll reach you, and there'll be a donut, and they got me down doing push-ups, which is usually killing me, but I do it for the kids. And obviously, if you get caught eating a donut, like I said earlier, you're in big trouble here at this camp. But the whole idea is to keep it fun, and the kids love the different skits that we do, and they're involved. And we also put together a karaoke on the boat cruise, which was unbelievable. The kids loved it because it gave them a chance to be creative, and I have to tell you, this year they just blew me away. We went on this great harbor cruise out in Boston Harbor on this beautiful boat. And while we're out there, the kids had to do, we had a disc jockey, and the kids had to do all these skits related to karaoke, whatever they could think up. Unbelievable skits they did. They were imitating me, they were imitating Sergeant Jack Hammer, they dressed up, we had prizes and awards, because that's what we do all week long. We like to give kids from each patrol, they're working for points, and that's the whole idea. At graduation, there's prize 1, 2, and 3, and then if they build up enough points, they get a chance at it, which is super. And it worked out great this year. But the boat cruise was tremendous because the kids, like I said, they have that chance to get out there and sing and have fun. And one of the great things too was we had the Coast Guard fly in. We did a mock rescue with the Coast Guard. Kids didn't know what was happening. We're out near George's Island out in the harbor. The helicopter flew in. They did an actual basket drop right there down to a boat. We had the Coast Guard boats out there. The Jayhawk helicopter, which was set up by Harbor Master Paul Malone. And it was just fabulous. It was a great day.
Yeah, my part in the camp, I was a counselor. I had a patrol squad. We divided the patrol squads up into 10 squads. I had patrol 2 with 12, well actually with 10 boys and girls from various schools around the town. And we're in charge of those 10 youngsters for the week with, along with a junior counselor. Actually this year I had 2 junior counselors that helped me because I had the extra kids. The other squads usually had between 7 and 8, I had 10. And we stay together in the groups, and we do everything as a group with other groups all week long. As I said, we're Patrol 2. The kids nicknamed us Davies Destroyers for the week. Every group tries to have a nickname. We were Davies Destroyers. Throughout the week, we get involved in various aspects of the police force and everything else. We have various games we do. We have obstacle courses we do. We have soccer. We do all police-related things, and we also have a segment that we call Duck-tective, which probably twice during the week we get clues from Officer Barry that he made up, and we are to figure those clues out, and the first team that figures those out goes to the last clue, and that clue is to find Duck Detective, wherever he is, and that's all added up to points. And at the end of the week, Officer Barry and Mr. McDonald, they add up. How they do it, I don't really know, but they add it up, and at the end of the year at their graduation, which we had on that Saturday, they divided up, and they have 3 gifts for the 3 top patrols through one, and Davies Destroyers came out #1 this year, I have to admit. It was a great feeling. The kids did a great job. It was excellent, you know. And despite what some officers think, no, it was not fixed. We did a good job. I had my kids marching all week, and they were a great bunch of kids. They really got into it. It was a pleasure to be with them all week. During the week, Officer Barry also gets us involved in some of his skits, and one of the big parts of this camp is we tell the kids right off the bat the first day that cops don't eat donuts, we eat bagels. Well, unfortunately, I am a product of Dunkin' Donuts Anonymous because I eat donuts. And each year we do a little skit for the kids that they don't see until the end, actually, and it involves me eating donuts and falling short of Dunkin' Donuts Anonymous and Sergeant Jackhammer's standards. It's a great time. We have a lot of fun doing that. It's a lot of laughs. The kids get a kick out of it at the graduation when they see it and when they look at it at home and everything else later on. And I get quite a few compliments about it, or comments, I should say. I don't know how many compliments I get, but it's fun. And the other officers do other skits too. We really get involved in it. We enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun for us to do these things.
All right, Ernie's back! He's back! Yeah, he's back! Ernie, don't do it again! What? Ernie, please, come on! Don't do it again, Ernie!
Donuts?
Slow down!
Where did those donuts come? What's in this medical kit? Donuts!
You moron!
You insubordinate! You slacker!
Get out of here! Fuck out of here! Out of here! Go, go, go!
My kids, actually talking to them, we have a little downtime toward the end of the week and talking to my patrol. They actually enjoyed everything. Of course, they all enjoy Six Flags with the rides. A few of them got on that Superman ride with me, and they didn't think I was going to be brave enough to do it, but I had to show them, so I had to go on it. They enjoyed water park, and you know, we like I say, we have the different courses we do, and the children get involved in that. We won the archery contest. We come in second in the obstacle course in soccer, but that's not what it's all about. The kids have a great time, and they really sit and, like I say, at the end of the week talking to them, they enjoyed every single thing, from not only the fun things that they do, but from the things we show them as far as what police officers do and the other agencies that we have involved with us during the week, and they just thoroughly enjoyed it. Officer Barry, you just can't say enough for him. He doesn't like to take the credit, but you have to give it to him. He just puts hours and hours and hours from the end of one camp to the beginning of the other. He's just non-stop going, and I know Mr. McDonald is right behind him. I mean, we have officers here, I myself, we try to ask Bob if there's anything we can do to help him. No, I got everything under control, and you know he does. He's a control freak, he admits it, and we do. We get together and we do things for him and help him out on some of the smaller things, but you have to give Bob a lot of credit for getting this program going. And I think he's a great asset anyway to the town, to the department, to the schools, to the safety officers across this state. I think Bob's #1. That's just being us here thinking that, but I believe he truly is. He does a fantastic job, Bobby. I look forward to it every year, and I tell Bob, and it's a little thing I've done the last 2 years. I take the video from the year before and put it in the night before camp and watch it and get myself psyched up. I thoroughly enjoy being with the kids. I had reservations about it when I first started, but once you get into it, I can't wait for it to get back, to be honest with you. It's a fun time. It's a fun time for us. And like I say, it's great being with these children, seeing how they react to us and what we do, and just, like I say, show the whole city and everything else, just exactly, you know, how we are as people, how we are as officers, and everything else. I think that this camp here will follow these kids right through their years through school and hopefully beyond. I think they see us in a different light, and I think that they can see us now, that they can come and talk to us. They're not afraid of us because we're police officers. They know we're there to help them, and down the line, you know, I believe they will call us. We've heard from other kids. I've heard through some of my kids from the first years and second years to go to different graduations that they have, and their graduations and everything like that. So I think this is something these children will bring right through their school years and hopefully even further. And like I say, they'll get a different aspect of what police officers are, that we are people, we are here to help them. And I think it's just a great community policing thing for this community to see what Officer Barry puts together and what the officers do to help out in this program.
I was the patrol leader of Group 3. If I say so myself, probably the finest patrol in the camp. I know Officer Davey came in first, but there are certainly some questions that have to be answered about that. A lot of the other patrol leaders, we're going to have a talk with Officer Barry and find out exactly how Officer Davey came in first. This is the third year that I've participated in the Junior Police Academy. Every year it's unbelievable, the bond that you can form with these kids in such a quick period of time, in only 5 days. It certainly is one of the highlights of the year for me, and I know the other officers that are involved in it. Working with the kids is so extremely rewarding. We enjoy it immensely. Every officer that's involved in it talks about it at the conclusion of the camp until the following year when the camp starts up again. The kids are so energetic, the enthusiasm that they bring to the camp after the first day when they're a little shocked as to what's taking place, the yelling and the screaming, where we kind of just roust them about a little bit. But they really, they're what makes the camp for us all. It's their happiness, if you will, that motivates us. I think one of the things that the Weymouth Junior Police Academy brings to the table in relation to a lot of the other camps that are run, we try to bring it from a law enforcement perspective as well as a camp perspective. Some of the things that we do for the kids are actual police related, such as the extraction of people from a motor vehicle accident, what would happen to the people, how the police would handle it, the armed robbery, the bank robbery scenario that Detective Andrasi did. That was run just like you would any crime scene. As far as lifting the prints, from obtaining descriptions from witnesses, to documenting certain things. The kids were able to try to lift prints. They were showing how it's done. They actually lifted their own prints, the techniques and the methods that are involved by law enforcement in a crime scene. But we also had, jackhammer. We brought a little bit of the military theme to it, which I think the first day was a little shocking to the kids. I think they thought they were going to camp and there wasn't going to be this rigid atmosphere where they were going to be required to march and they were going to be required to comply with camp rules, as far as sitting, speaking, being nice to their fellow campers. Nobody was allowed to speak negatively about any other patrol or anybody else in the camp. The kids kind of adapted to it well, and even as competitive as we were in the patrols against one another, when another patrol won, the patrol that lost was very congratulatory towards them. You didn't hear them berating them or making fun of them, or vice versa, the people that won making fun of the patrols that lost. That's something that's instilled right at the beginning of the camp by Steve McDonald and Bob Barry, is that everybody has to get along and everybody supports one another, everybody works together. It's teamwork. Steve McDonald has a camp song that he put together, the first academy we did 3 years ago, that all the campers are required to learn, that they recite at graduation, which kind of brings a uniqueness to it itself. It's our own camp song. It doesn't apply to any other camps around. The thing is, kids come up to you later on. I have kids come up to me that were in the first camp 3 years ago, and they still know the words to the song and they'll sing it. It's pretty good to know that you had such an impact on a youngster's life like that. That's a memory that they hold near and dear. On Thursday, we had Sergeant Rick Grimes come in, who's the K-9 officer for the police department, special operations, come in and do a skit with the police department's K-9 Heilig. The skit was an armed robbery where we had 2 armed robberies in the cab of a pickup, and I was in the back of the pickup in the bite suit. The bite suit is a thickly padded suit that they use to train the K-9 and its bite techniques and its pursuit techniques. It's a real heavy suit. It's hot, but it protects the wearer from the tremendous pressures that Heilig has in taking down a suspect. My role was to be in the back of the pickup truck in the suit, and after the 2 people in the front of the truck surrendered, I was to come out shooting, and Sergeant Grimes would send the dog after me and, to take me down, to effect an arrest because I wouldn't comply with the surrender order. I got to think maybe about 40 feet away from the truck when Heilig latched onto my leg and literally knocked me to the ground. The dog, in comparison to a human, is much lighter, but when he hits you, you know it, and he knocks you down. It's impossible to maintain your balance. The suit isn't very, it's very restrictive. You really can't run or walk like you do normally. And I heard a lot of the kids, as I was trying to get away from the truck, yelling at me, "Gumby," and pretty much that's exactly what you feel like when you're trying to run or move. You're very stiff-legged. Your arms are very stiff. You don't have a lot of mobility. It's very rigid, but it has to be that way in order for the suit to give you protection from the dog. We had a lot of incidents at the camp, I'll say, the pranks that were played on people throughout the camp. Officer Barry, one day, thinking he was going to be a participant in a particular prank, ended up being the brunt of the pies. He thought he was there to set up the other person, and lo and behold, it was him that was actually being set up. On other times, one day I was being interviewed by you, Justine. You set me up with some of the crossing guards. Standing there all serious like now, and lo and behold, up from behind comes some water. By the way, we are looking for some new crossing guards, at least 2. So if anybody out there is watching, we do need a couple of new crossing guards. I hope that they viewed the police officers that were involved in this camp in a different light, not somebody who's wearing a blue uniform with a badge, carrying a gun, and driving around in a police car with blue lights on it as somebody who's untouchable. We certainly try to knock that barrier down to let the kids know that we are there for them, that there isn't anything that we wouldn't do for them, and if they have a problem, that they can come and talk to us about it, or come and talk to any police officer about it, and just that we are human beings like everybody else. We don't want them to feel that we're different or that we're isolated from them. There's nothing more rewarding than to have a child come up to you years later, while you're in uniform, and approach you and talk to you and talk about the good times that he had, because that's going to translate down the road and into all kinds of things. He's going to realize that the police are not over here and society is over there. That we are there for them. We are a service-oriented organization. And that we're there for them. We're there to help, not to hinder or hurt anybody.
I think what I get out of the camp every year is the fact that I'm blessed to have the job as a safety officer anyways, and I work with kids all the time, so I see how they are, at the schools, and I get to talk to them, and it's a great thing to be with them every day, especially in the schools. But having them out here in the summertime, getting to relax and spend more time with them, it's great. To see them out there with the activities, how excited they get. But the other great part too is to see the looks in the offices. It's a great camp for the kids, but the police officers, it's amazing what they get out of it. And that's the positive of the Junior Police Academy. And that's why I hope this Junior Police Academy continues forever, because the way the men and women in the department react to it and how good they feel when they finish. Because when you're a safety officer or a DARE officer, we're in the schools, people come up and tell you all the time, geez, we're happy with the job you did, or thank you for doing that program. But the police officers are out there every day doing the regular programs that are, the shifts and working out there in patrol, don't always get the chance to people say thank you, or they're called for usually problems or whatever, or accidents. They don't always get the attaboys, and it's nice to see that for a change that they can get the attaboys, and they need it too, because they're the ones that really run the camp. It's not my camp, it's the Weymouth Police Camp, and it's all them that put the time into it, and they bring all their specialties to the camp too, which is wonderful. Each officer has their own specialty, you could say, coming into the department. For an example, detectives. In their job, we do the mock crime scene. They're able to bring it together for us in terms of like the fingerprinting and their expertise in the crime scene. We have the officers that in the physical training. Officer U.D. Ranford, if you ever seen the size of the guy, you'd understand why he's in charge of physical training. He's in great shape himself. He works out all the time. He's always been involved in different tactical programs. He runs the obstacle course. Officer Frank Beatrice, who runs our self-defense class, he's a black belt in karate. He runs that for us. So each officer has their own expertise. Our archery program, run by Sergeant Johnson, he's also qualified as an archery expert. So everybody's bringing something to the camp, and we're doing it in a fun way, in a safe way, and that's most important. Steve McDonald, boy, I could say a lot about this guy. He's a teacher at South Intermediate School, a music teacher, and he started with us 3 years ago. And one of the reasons why I brought Steve McDonald on is because I saw the way he works with kids, and I saw the way that the kids react to him. They really respect the guy, and he commands that respect. And he was the one that obviously came up with the Junior Police Academy song, because us police officers aren't very good singers. And he was able to get us all singing together in harmony. And he came up with that great song, Weymouth Junior Police Academy. And the part where it says, cops and kids working in unity, that's really what we try to do. And Mr. McDonald brings that unity together, especially with the counselors. He works with the counselors and the kids and the planning, because it takes a whole year to put the Junior Police Academy together. And it's great to have a guy like him to be my assistant, because I don't have to tell him what to do. He's just, because he's a teacher, he knows what to do. He's just automatic. He makes it happen. And very happy that he's with us. One of the highlights of the camp would be the graduation. And at the graduation, we show the video. And all week long, we're taking video pictures of the camp, taking shots of the different activities and funny skits that are going on, things that are being done. And I think that's the opportunity for the parents to really kind of get an idea of what the Academy's all about. Because the kids come home and they're tired. Did you have a good day? Yeah, we had a good day. Yeah, we did this, we did that. But all of a sudden, the parents sit and watch that video and they realize what really went on, and it gives them a different perspective. And I think for the kids to go home with a videotape after the camp's done, it gives them an opportunity to watch the camp and go, wow, we had a great time. And we also give out evaluation forms so the parents and the kids give us an idea of the feedback. It's been tremendous. Every time we get back these forms, parents are telling us what a great camp it is, what a difference it's made with their kids, the respect level, how they know police officers, everything that we really try to do. And that's the positive part of it. And I hope that parents, I wish, again, that more people could be involved. I'm hoping that down the road, more people come and help us, especially, you know, when you see the programs like the safety program or the DARE program, the money goes to the kids, 100% to the kids. And this is a perfect example of that. So if you have the opportunity to help us out, or you know, some of the things that we needed this year, we needed printing. You know, we spent a lot of money on printing. We needed people to help drop off stuff for us, and we needed cakes at the graduation and food for the graduation and paper goods and all those type of things. If everybody pitched in just a little bit, it would have made it so much easier. But like I said, we came right down to the wire, and we're very lucky that we actually had a Junior Police Academy this year. But we're lucky enough that some good people came out and helped us. I hope the kids get out of the program that, you know, again, we're real people too. And that's what we want. We want to create a bond where if a police officer pulls up, you know, when you're talking 25, 30 different police officers from different shifts in the department, say that we have an officer from the 4 to 12 shift, runs down a park, sees some kids hanging around, and all of a sudden one of those kids knows Officer Ernie or Officer Jack or Officer Bill and says, hey, how you doing? Geez, guys, we got to have you move along. No problem. They know it, that personal bond is already made, and that's what we're looking for. People to say, hey, we can respect you, we know who you are a good guy, and that's where it comes in. That's the whole idea of community policing. People get to know who we are, instead of just a police officer showing up to kick us out of the park. Honestly, I think the size of the camp right now is a good size. I feel bad that we can't reach out to more kids in town, and I guess the only way we could do that is if we extended the camp longer during the summer. But our problem is, and it is every year, is just to try to get the funding. Even though we have community policing money, grant money that's there, thank God we get donations through the year, but this year was a tough year. But people came out and they said, geez, we want to help out your camp, and some parents that had children in the camp gave checks, last minute. Businesses in town helped us out with, you know, water and soda, and it's unbelievable because grant money doesn't pay for those things, where the water and the soda and the food and things like that, snacks we give the kids, that all has to be funded somehow. So, and during the year also, we run the Halloween parties and the different events. That's how we raise money to make this camp happen. So it's good that people during the year help us out with donations. But getting back to the question of, you know, would I like to see it bigger? Of course I would. I'd like to see more kids take part in it, because it's an opportunity that kids get to meet police officers. They get to meet police officers in a different level. They see us out there in the uniform, but hey, here's a week of summer camp. They're working with us. They see guys out there having fun, laughing, joking at archery and the obstacle course and all the other different events that we have going on. It's just a great way to create a bond, and kids get to know that we're real people too.